For today's cup of coffee, I wanted to discuss a Netflix series that I had watched over the weekend. And at first, it started out pretty good. It was interesting. It was well done. And that was this series of how to become a cult leader. And there's 6 videos in the series. And let me find here. It's like I need to change my screens to different things, and I can't do that yet. I'm doing better than I did, but I'm still not totally there. And it featured each little series, well, not each little series. Each video featured a famous cult leader. And the first one, it says the basis of it is that there is a playbook. Now, this is supposed to be in theory on how to become a cult leader. And the first one, the first how-to was build your foundation. And this discussed Charles Manson and some of the ways that that he built his following. And if you've never been sucked into a cult or a narcissistic relationship or anything like that, because it's the same tactics, and it's breaking down somebody's free will, which is all black magic. Anytime you do anything to take away somebody's free choice and free will, that's evil. And so this was something that has fascinated me for a long time. And even as far as these were in bite-size segments, easily watchable. The second one was Grow Your Flock, and was based on Jim Jones. And those of you who may not be old enough to remember Jonestown and the mass murder, which they have found out may not have been a mass suicide. It was mass murder instead of mass suicide, because they had actually found injection sites on some of the people. So not all of them may have drunk the Kool-Aid. They may have had stuff jabbed into them. Now, you're going to have to listen between the words on this one. And the third one was Reform Their Minds. And this was about somebody that I wasn't familiar with, this Jaime Gomez. And that was just odd. He was an odd person, but his followers they became so devoted to him that there was one lady that had been one of his followers, and she said at the time that she would have died for him. And how these things, so it's a fascinating psychological study of what happens to people. And it's easy to, when you're on the outside, to sit there and go, well, I would never. But this stuff is very much insidious. And the fourth one was Promise of Eternity. And this was talking about the Heaven's Gate leader, Marshall Applewhite. This was a particularly interesting episode because they interviewed one of the former members. And it was almost, I don't know why he was not amongst one of the ones that did commit suicide, to go up to the UFO that they believed was in the tail of I think it was the Hale-Bopp comet. But he seemed very remorseful and wistful that he wasn't with them. And it's just very, sad. It was just very sad. And he seems very lost without these people. And the 5th installment was Control Your Image. And this was it was Shoku Ashihara. And this was the cult leader over in Japan with I think it was the sarin gas on the subways, and methods that he did to even as far as PR and stuff. And then the last point that they were making was supposedly to become immortal. And they had discussed Sun Young Moon, or Young Moon. I never didn't know there was an M before there. And the Unification Church. And as far as, I don't know if the Moonies still exist or not, but I was very impressed with the series when I was first watching it until that last episode. And I thought, oh shit. This whole thing that is talking about people being programmed, which is what it is programming people. Because on the last episode there, what they did, they showed a picture of one of Moon's children. And his name is Sean Moon, or he goes by that now, and showed him standing beside Donald Trump Jr. And according to Wikipedia, and I think I did put that up here. I'm trying to go between screens again. This one. It's the Wikipedia. I don't know if you can see that or not. I just decided to go ahead and show you all the screenshots instead of saying that I've got them, because most people ain't going to go and look for it. And so, according to the Wikipedia that is there on the side, that this child of the moon, Sean Moon, is known as an American pastor, and along with his wife, founded the Pennsylvania-based World Peace and Unification Sanctuary Church, also known as Rod of Iron Ministries. The Sanctuary Church is a charismatic or schismatic and militant sect of the Unification Movement, which was founded by the original Moon, Papa Moon. And the Southern Poverty Law Center has called this group an anti-LGBT cult leader in January of 2018. And it also, at the last sentence says, Moon and Sanctuary Church followers helped organize the 2021 United States Capitol attack. Now, I really believe that without any kind of evidence on that very well may be slanderous. It's not up to me to do any of this, but I have not heard anything in the news that has even mentioned this group as being part of that. But for this to come up as one of the main things when I did a search on it, yeah. And then the other thing that was very interesting to me that came up was this right here. This is a bundle pack. And what this is for teachers. And it is teacherspayteachers.com. And it's got it for grade level 9 through 12, subjects social studies, history, U.S. history, psychology. And it's got worksheets, movie guides, and the formats included are zip. Now, if you go through there and watch this series, and I really think to get the full effect of it, you would have to watch all 6. I don't think you could watch just that last one to get the full implication of what's going on with this presentation. The series mixes animated segments with live action news clips and interviews with survivors, which can very easily appeal to a younger population. It never mentions any kind of alphabet agency or hyphenated group. Now, it's narrated by Peter Dinklage, that was of Game of Thrones. He's been in other things also. So that's a familiar voice on that. And I would like for somebody else to also watch this and comment, because there on that last one, it very much seemed to indicate and try to teach people that those that are in cults, if somebody is pro Second Amendment, if somebody is religious who believes in family unit, because that was one of the things that they said about the Moonies, that was the things that they said was bad, was that they believed in marriage and starting of families. Now, I don't know anything about the Moonies other than hearing the name of them. I don't know anything about their belief system or anything like that. But this was just dangerous, because very much the implication was against people who can be called conservatives. It was very much like some of the Nazi youth movies during World War II, which I find absolutely horrifying, but not surprising, because you had Operation Paperclip. And that is where the propaganda and stuff was very much honed to an art. And now we've got it. It's not even dependent on some of these other things. We've got much better toys now than they did during World War II. We've got computer. We've got 24/7 access to propaganda, especially these kids that they don't know how to be discerning. And parents, if you've got kids in a public school, you damn well better be paying attention and find out what the hell that they're teaching them, who's teaching them, what the belief system is, not only of of everybody there, from every teacher that's in that school, the administrators, the school boards, all that stuff. There's reasons that I homeschooled youngest kid from 6th grade on. And that was because that I was told that the Constitution did not apply on school grounds. Now, if I had known then what I know now, my ass would have been sitting at in an attorney's office saying, help me go after this shit. It needs to stop. And I think I'm taking responsibility. As far as a lot of us, we blindly believed that people had the best interest of our children at heart, that these were good people, that none of this stuff could ever happen here. This is America, home of the free. We weren't vigilant. And now we have got this huge clusterfuck. And I don't know, I'm praying that God will show us what to do, how to do it, His way. In His time, it may be to a point that He's just going to do it Himself. Now that's a strong possibility. But when I watched this series, I was just sort of dumbfounded and how easily this stuff happens. Now, I'm 58 years old. I've been through some shit. I've seen some stuff, and all of us can be lulled into that sense of complacency, and this is not the time to do that. It is a matter of sharpening each other. What is it? Steel sharpens steel, or whatever it is. We need that. This is not the time to be black-pilled. This is not the time to be nihilistic. And when I say God's going to fix this stuff, that does not mean that that's going to be, that does not require our effort. It is a matter of doing these things in a lawful manner. Sometimes that lawful manner is a matter of saying, you shall not pass. This is my child. This is my family. This is my body. No, you ain't putting no shit in there. Yeah. And there's a lot of people are frustrated. I spent a good portion of the evening just going through different message boards, and people are so frustrated on so many levels, and that goes along with planetary alignments. So do not let your mouth override your ass. Think before doing. Always pray. Stay prayed up all the time. But when you find, I could not find any conservative source talking about this. None of them. And they can't check everything all the time. So if you find something like this, contact some of these people. And maybe because that it came out, let's see if I can find when they had said that these things had aired. It was this year. Let's see. July. Yeah. All of them was here in, let's see. And maybe that's just that one. But yeah, it was very much season 1 on this of 2023. Yeah. So they can crank this stuff out quickly and are doing it. And sometimes it's like, oh, you actually rejoined Netflix. I did. And I'm actually glad that I did, because where I saw this, now I'm sharing this with other people. It's like, hey, this is the message that's being put out there. Somebody needs to be held responsible. That's something that's not happening a lot right now. It's like you've got people that are doing the right thing and it seemed to be punished. No, Psalms 37, hold on to that. Totally hold on to that. So, if you see something, say something. Isn't that one of those things that they're wanting people to do? I saw something, I'm saying something. It's just one little voice crying in the wilderness. But while I've got that one little voice, I'm going to use it. And as far as it being insidious, and as far as evil, people are picking sides. And if you say you ain't picking a side, you've already picked a side. And a lot of these, it's not a matter, a lot of these people are not bad people. They're deceived, they're misguided, they're misinformed. And this is what they are trying to do, is divide and conquer. That is eons old strategy, battle strategy, because we are at war. It's just a different form of war. Very much psychological warfare every single day. So, yeah, I wish this one were light and fluffy, but I just, yeah, there's a time and a season for all things. This was not light and fluffy. Kid's not feeling well, and he didn't need to be part of this anyhow. So, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you've seen this type of insidiousness, you can either send me an email, let somebody know that's got a bigger platform than I do. You know, because we are micro mini. I get that. We pirate radio, 1.5 mile radius, and still had FCC smack us down. And the thing is, I'm concerned about saying that because you all know that I'm joking, but somewhere, some fool with an algorithm or something, well, she said she had, no, it's a joke. You know, it's like drag the binary code out of your ass and open up your eyes. So, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And I don't think there's any need for links because I've already put the stuff here on the screen. Yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Pray one for another. Know that you're loved. One of the best ways to defeat the forces of darkness is laugh. Laugh. And refuse to play their game. Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.